The main event of SummerSlam was confirmed on last night's SmackDown. An AEW name has revealed that they have left the company, and a top free agent tag team has said goodbye to independent wrestling. Stay tuned for all the wrestling news. Last night's SmackDown saw quite a brutal beatdown at the hands of Jacob Fatu and the Bloodline. Notice we say Jacob Fatu was the one that did the beatdown and not Solo Sikoa, because Jacob Fatu's the one everyone really is interested in right now.
He's actually like the real life Tasmanian devil.
He's insane.
He is completely wild. I can't believe that I'd not followed him before this really much. Like
you've heard of the stuff in MLW.
You'd see compilations, but it was just like, God damn, like I knew he was going to be a force to be reckoned with, but
yeah. Whoa. This man is a beast, and he appeared in the ring and destroyed DIY following their tag team title defense over A-Town Down Under, and this ushered in the rest of the Bloodline to the ring. It was quite a brutal attack from Jacob. Then this, of course, led to "We Want Roman" chants from the crowd, which has been a lot of fun having these "We Want Roman" chants. It's something that 6 months ago we wouldn't expect.
The Bloodline are getting booed. It's back to exactly how it should be. I guess order has been restored, but just seeing Solo stand there and do the acknowledge me and the response to that, man, is just
it's incredible. But Solo addresses the Reigns aspect and says that when Reigns returns, he will acknowledge him, and says, but he turns his attention to Cody Rhodes and asks Cody to acknowledge him. This prompts, of course, Kingdom to play Cody Rhodes to come out.
Boom, boom.
Wrestling has more than one. Yeah.
The
what an
big
entrance
5-minute intro, but what an entrance it is.
He comes to the ring, and Cody Rhodes agrees to a match to defend his undisputed WWE Championship against Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam in just a few weeks' time. This is a match that we've all been expecting to be on the cards. We saw the little tease at Clash at the Castle, Solo coming out, and then there being the brawl between the two teams. We saw the match at Money in the Bank, the 6-man tag, and Solo getting the pin on Cody Rhodes. He does hold that victory over Cody, and it looks like we're going to get, or it has been confirmed, we're going to get that title match at SummerSlam. But then it went on to have a bit of again, another brutal beatdown.
Yeah, so they, of course, jump Cody because it's just what they do. Come on, you got to understand if you're going to go down there, Cody, they're going to jump you.
They're going to attack.
Cody manages to fight back valiantly, but of course, I mean, numbers game is just strongly against him, and the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for Cody Rhodes on last night's SmackDown. But then out to make the save comes Randy Orton sprinting down. He clears house a little bit as some of the Bloodline go running out to stop him. So he drops one, drops the other, and gets in the ring, and then it just turns into a brutal beatdown on Randy Orton, and then they kind of tie Cody up in the ropes. And Cody's forced to watch, but Cody's he's selling the table like it's absolute certain death.
It's death.
And he's just you want him, take me, you want me, not him. And it was just a big, fiercely dramatic moment. Jacob Fatu telling the camera to get the F out the way, shoving the cameraman, and
it was actually really, really well done. Cody obviously being very overdramatic about it.
The table felt so much more impactful.
But it
was
did.
Table spot feels dangerous again.
It feels dangerous, especially when you've got Randy Orton, who has a history of back issues, going through that table, the way he sold it, the way Cody Rhodes sold it. This was great, and I can't wait to see the next step in this. It looks like Orton versus maybe a member of the Bloodline at SummerSlam. You would expect Jacob.
I know that we've got so much further to go, but I'm just thinking War Games, man.
Yeah.
Just the Fatu inside War Games.
Moonsault off a cage. He will do it. He will absolutely do it. But looking ahead to SummerSlam, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE is planning to have 8 matches on the show. This is up from the most recent events, which have all been sort of around that 5-6 match mark. This is obviously Gunther Priest. That has been confirmed. Nia Jax versus Bayley. That has been confirmed. And now Cody Rhodes versus Solo. We're expecting Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn, or some sort of match there, and some match involving Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, should CM Punk be healed in time for the show.
I think it's not surprising that we're getting slightly more. It does feel like the tentpole events, the traditional big four, I guess now big five with Money in the Bank, but the big four in particular seem to get that the extra little bit, right?
Yes.
Because it's just, they're classically, historically the events. So.
Yeah, right. It does feel grand. It's in a stadium. They have to sell that stadium.
Plus,
and
when Braun Breaker comes out, destroys a big foam sign that says Bron Breakker and reveals one that says Rex Steiner, and then proceeds to just go completely Uncle Scott all over the place. Yeah, it's going to be great.
I mean, he did say the other day he's going to beat them down like a Steiner does.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we want from Breakker. Another match, though, that looks to be set for SummerSlam is LA Knight versus Logan Paul. This was essentially confirmed on last night's SmackDown. LA Knight had a contract for that match. Yeah. He had his signature on it. He had Nick Aldis' signature on it. But no Logan Paul to be found.
So it's looking like Logan Paul is going to be here next week in order to sign said contract or get around or bring his own piece of paper that says, something ridiculous on it, like, if you lose, you have to dress as Prime and get Prime tattooed on your face forever and can never challenge me again.
That's an interesting stipulation, actually. Yeah, I think LA Knight would agree to that because he's already got a win over Logan Paul. Yeah. He pinned him in that triple threat to qualify for Money in the Bank. Maybe so it looks like Paul's running scared.
Maybe if he beats Logan Paul, then Logan Paul's got to get the Slim Jim logo tattooed on it.
Just a battle of sponsorships. That's what we want to see. Moving over to AEW, though, just now, it's been revealed just this past couple of days that CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana, we've been speaking with US Today. She has revealed that she has left AEW. She hasn't been seen on screen for some time, but it is now confirmed that she has departed the company. She said that she is planning to continue working in professional wrestling and aims to be what she says she aims to be Paul Heyman. She wants to continue being a manager, wants to continue doing what he is doing and cultivating talent, she says. And she is currently free to sign with whoever she likes. Do we see her going back to WWE? Do we see her going TNA? Do we see her going elsewhere?
Obviously, I guess, her biggest audience is probably primarily WWE. It's where she initially made her name, I guess, in terms of the wider big stage of wrestling. So I think, there's always the chance there. I'm quite surprised AEW weren't able to really capitalize on it. It was interesting when she came in. We had kind of the back and forth with her and Miro, and then that was kind of expected that would be the initial sort of entrance way, story-wise. But I just thought she's somebody we may have seen a little bit more of. If you were to bring her back to WWE, I'd be more interested in her being in like NXT. If she's going to be
me and you lies there.
And, I think that there's the room there, but maybe TNA is a great landing spot as well. I think TNA is offering a lot more creativity to people, but they seem to be open to working with anybody who just really wants to
be there.
To be there and to give back, right?
It's that creative aspect that you think. That's why I think NXT is a good fit and TNA would be a good fit because we've seen what CJ Perry can do, and she's been doing the same thing for over 10 years now. Maybe it is time for her to refresh that character, something like NXT.
Give her Dragunov and have her speak in Russian. Let's just go again.
Just start it all from the beginning again. There we go. But Sean Ross Sapp off Fightful has since reported that she was part of the roster cuts back in April. She was quietly released from the company and it wasn't reported on there, but she has now confirmed that herself in USA Today. Now we're going to round things off with a big free agent. Now, the Motor City Machine Guns has been kind of on the cusp of signing with a company for months now.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be AEW, as reported by Body Slam.
A lot of people would probably look at that and go, makes sense. Indie-rific darlings, indie-rific sort of mega stage company. Tony seems to really appreciate that era of independent wrestling in particular.
But it looks like that might not be the case. Now, last night they had an event at Prestige Wrestling where the two of them, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, faced off against each other. They then, following the match, thanked the crowd and really basked in everything that was going on. They were waving.
Very final. Yeah.
It felt very, very final. Wrist tape was coming off.
Yeah.
No boots in the ring, but they were waving, they were shaking hands, they were very emotional.
They took off their Undertaker jackets and their hats.
Placed them nicely folded.
The lights went purple.
Yeah. Well, they look to be on their way out of independent wrestling, and this comes after a report yesterday from PWN, which revealed that the team has had offers from both AEW and WWE, but the team is leaning more towards WWE right now. Where do you see them?
I can see them in WWE easily.
Yeah.
Easily. I mean, Christ. I think, you could put them on the main roster straight away. Obviously, NXT's got to be more appealing than ever with Shawn Michaels, the TNA crossover. There's a lot of room there to maybe do some other stuff with their old stomping ground. But, there's the option for Noah now. There's all these other things that seem to be falling in line with WWE. And it's going to sound tribal, but it's one of those things where WWE just seems to be becoming a bit of a cooler choice at points. I don't know what it is.
I think it's when certain talents are, like the Motor City Machine Guns, all due respect, they're not young.
No.
They're not young at all. Whereas if you look at the talent that AEW is trying to cultivate and sign at the moment, they're all a lot younger. You've got your Daniel Garcias, your MJFs, your Will Ospreys. They're all quite young. The Motor City Machine Guns aren't as young. So maybe knowing that this is probably their last big contract in wrestling, despite having offers from two of them and looking at different times to be going to each company.
Biggest global platform for wrestling.
It's a bigger global platform, and maybe they've just thought they've had more interesting matchups that they've not had with the teams that are in WWE compared to the teams that they're in AEW. But either way, whichever side they go, whether it's WWE or AEW, it's the Motor City Machine Guns. And what a team they are.
It's somewhere Jack the Jobber's a very happy boy, regardless.
Oh yeah,
like he's one of his favorite tags of all time. So I think it's going to be exciting to see where they end up. I would quite like to see them again in I keep saying NXT, but I know that they could probably slot seamlessly into the main roster. They'd be great with AEW again, but like I for whatever reason, them working with Shawn Michaels.
It seems like a perfect fit there.
Like having them come in as elder statesmen for at least a little run before they then go straight to the main roster.
There's a lot of room. Where would you like to see Motor City Machine Guns go in the future? But that is all the wrestling news we've got for you just now. We'll be back later on today, but we have got a little bit of a teaser for a big video that we've got coming out tomorrow. Over the Clash at the Castle weekend, we filmed a mega video, the WWE The Game. Myself and Piers Graffin, one of our fantastic video editors, take on Jack the Jobber and Owen Mawson to complete as many wrestling themed challenges as possible before the day ends. This is a big video. It's coming out tomorrow. I can't wait for everyone to see it, so make sure you have that little notification bell. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it in your inbox. But if you want to watch it right now and can't wait, go to patreon.com/Cultaholic and you can watch it right now. We will see you later on today.